Who is the Aga Khan? Hi, I'm Dr. James Holt, and the BBC begins its article reporting the death of Prince Karim Aga Khan in the following way. Billionaire philanthropist and spiritual leader Aga Khan has died at the age of 88. His charity, the Aga Khan Development Network, has announced Prince Karim Aga Khan was the 49th hereditary Imam of the Ismaili Muslims, who trace his lineage directly to the Prophet Muhammad. The book of the article then focuses on his wealth, as well as a large chunk focusing on his love of horse racing and a little bit about his philanthropy. Although none of that is incorrect, I wonder about the reduction of the spiritual importance and legacy of the 49th Imam of Nizari Ismaili Shia Islam to mention that he is the spiritual leader and descended from the Prophet Muhammad. I've spoken a lot about Imams in Shia Islam, and that within Ismaili Islam a split with what are now known as 12 Shia occurred after the death of the 6th Imam, and the debated succession of such. Within Ismaili it was with his son Ismail. There were many aspects of the life of the recently deceased Aga Khan that necessitated political and economic involvement, as many of his followers were affected by the independence of many African countries in which they lived. However, his role as Imam is paramount in understanding who he was to Nizari Ismaili Muslims. As Imam, his role is described by Ismailis as the Imam to be explained as the Mazar, locus of manifestation of God, and the relationship between God and the Imam to be related to varying levels of inspiration and communication from God to man. It further explains, in the Ismaili tradition, the Imam not only leads in the interpretation of the faith, but also in the effort to improve the quality of life of his community and of the societies in which it lives. The Aga Khan fused these two aspects of the role in leading those of his faith. This was particularly accomplished through the work of the Aga Khan Development Network, or AKDN. The AKDN is a group of private, international, non-denominational agencies who work to improve living conditions and opportunities for people in the developing world, so to speak, largely in Asia and Africa. The network's organisation have mandates that range from health and education to rural development, culture and the promotion of private sector enterprise. It is established that the previous Imam names his successor prior to his death. This process is known as Nas. This successor can only be named by the Imam under the inspiration of Allah, because only they among all humans are immune from error within Shia beliefs. This indicates that the judgment of others, no matter how well-intentioned, is flawed and should not be used in the selection of the successor. It is reported that the 49th Imam has designated his successor in his will, which will be read in front of his family and leaders from the Ismaili community. This will then be announced more widely.